So this is one of those videos that I never wanted to make. I tried to stay away from the series as humanly possible, but unfortunately, I came back to this crappy series. So back in October 2025, I made a review talking about Claire's Precious Little Life and how I found the series really crappy and, and very bad. I eventually deleted the video because it was very cringe and very over the top. So I today wanted to make a re-review. I'm not gonna talk about the episodes once again. I'm not gonna talk about episode 1, 2, and 3 again. I'm just gonna talk about what it does wrong. So the problem with Claire's Precious Little Life is it just copies a lot of from the Basics in Behavior music video that was made by Katie back in 2024. And the reason why, despite me not liking the music video, the reason why I found it okay and why I let Katie get away with not really giving a lot of character development, because it was a music video. In a music video, characters don't really need to have a lot of depth and potential, because again, it's a music video. So when Toonzy, probably I guess in late 2024, decided to make an adaptation of Basics in Behavior, everything went flat and fell flat. So the reason why the series sucked, because it doesn't really try to change and mix things up. Like, a problem I have with Miss Circle, Bloomy, and Thavel is they don't have a lot of character. All they do in the series is they just kill other students and act like a bunch of assholes. But why? The series never tells us this, they just do it because the characters need to die. And a problem I have to and a problem I have with Riley's character is she was killed for basically no reason other than, ooh, we needed some shock value. Like, we don't get to learn a lot about Riley. We just start episode 2, she's talking with Ruby, and then she wants to date Oliver, and then she sees and then she just sees Alice with Oliver, and then Circle uses her as a ragdoll type of thing, or maybe like a punching bag that Alice could use to demonstrate how dangerous she is. Now, I don't want to really talk about why the hell there is a demon in the school and why didn't they get rid of it? Because in this re-review, I'm gonna make it shorter than the original review. So instead of just rambling about how crappy the series is for like a whole hour, I'm just gonna make the video at least 20 or 30 minutes, just explaining all the bad stuff it does. And I'm not really feeling like showing footage or screenshots of the series. I just want to talk about it. Now again, I said I didn't like Circle because she's just an asshole who does horrible things for no reason. Now, Toonzy could have fixed a problem that she had. He could have gave her character, could have gave her a lot more personality and some development. I'm not saying, ooh, Circle should have a redemption arc, she can stay a villain, but he should have done more with her. Like, maybe explain why she kills students, why is she always crazy, why is she a sadist. Maybe here we could have got more character development, a reason why I like Jax from the Amazing Digital Circuses. Despite him being an asshole who does horrible things, there's a reason why he does it. He has personality. There's something to like about him. Circle doesn't have that. She just kills people. At this point, it didn't really feel like she was a character, more like she was an NPC who was designed to do horrible things. And if the character just does horrible things because the plot needs it without giving them structure or a lot of personality or reason, then that is a horrible character. Like, if I were responsible at making Claire's Precious Little Life, I would change things up, like I said in the beginning. Maybe change how the characters act. Maybe add some things to them that the music video wasn't able to add. Like Toonsy, you were making an animated series. You were making an animated adaptation. So that means you have less limits. Like, the reason why the music video didn't had a lot of limits and not much you can do with the characters because it was a music video. But here you can do a lot with the characters now. And again, Toonsy just left them the same way. Now, Toonsy did do something interesting with Miss Bloomy that unfortunately in the series he doesn't explore much. He made Miss Bloomy a mother who has 3 children. Robbie, I think Edward, maybe, and of course Riley. So when Riley gets killed in episode 2, how does Bloomy react to her friend just letting Alice kill her daughter? Well, we never see that because Toonsy decided, no, let's just ignore that part. Now, to me, FBE didn't need an adaptation. FBE was fine the way it is. If anything, I didn't really feel like FBE needed to get milked so hard with a lot of people making AUs and animated adaptations sometimes and all of this and that. I'm a little okay with AUs existing, but again, it didn't need that because in the end it was just a music video. And it getting milked so hard was one of the reasons why Katie left. Possibly. But who knows, maybe she was okay with that. And a problem I have is Circle, Bloomy, and Thavel don't face consequences for what they did. After Claire gets killed in the final episode, Circle, Bloomy, and Thavel just catch Edward, Oliver, and Zip in the act, and they were responsible for Claire's death, and they probably killed them, I guess, because they looked outraged at them, and probably looked like they want to kill them. Again, like Toonsy, if you're gonna make the villains such big assholes, at least have them face consequences. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I found Danjan Ronpa, I guess that's how you spell the name, better than Claire's Precious Little Life. I'm not saying it's a good series because, again, similar to Claire's Precious Little Life, I don't like it because it's just people dying and stuff, but at least that series had a message going on. How you shouldn't let despair take over your choices. What does Claire's Precious Little Life give you? No message. There is no message. There is nothing that can make that series timeless. or a message you can look back at. It just feels traumatic, like you're just watching an incident happen. It's like when you go to the news and hear a bunch of kids got killed in an incident. It's just gonna be traumatizing. And again, after episode 3, the series was done for. There was no episode 4. Circle, Savile, and Bloomy got away with what they did, and that was that. Again, a problem I have is that FPE didn't need an adaptation. It was okay as a music video. It should have remained a music video. We didn't need an animated adaptation. Oh, at least I didn't need an animated adaptation. And I guess if you like it, then that's fine. But again, what was so magnificent of FPE that it needed an animated adaptation? Sometimes things are better when they're just the way it is. Turning them into something different, it can sometimes be hit or miss. You could either make it work, or you could miss, and then it just ends up being a terrible adaptation. And unfortunately for me, CPLL was a terrible adaptation of FPE. It didn't enrich the characters. Like characters like Robbie and Ruby barely get anything. Ruby in episode 2 just talks with Riley for like a few seconds, and then that's that. She just remains a background character who does nothing. We don't see her interact with others. She just becomes part of the background. And we don't even get to see Ruby see her best friend die horribly. She was there when her friend got killed, but she just stares at her friend's death. She doesn't cry, she doesn't become depressed. Nope, she just moves on, and in episode 3, she's all okay again, as if nothing happened. And I just want to ask this, was Riley's death really necessary? Like, what was the point of it? Like, the original didn't have Riley die. I was sure she was still alive in the music video. Like, what would have changed it if she just didn't get killed? Pretty much nothing. All it was just some cheap shock value. Now I don't like when characters just get killed for no reason. Like, it's a reason why I didn't like Claire's Precious Little Life and some FPEAUs, because they just get killed for nothing because the series demands some shock value. And, oh, did I forget to mention, all the deaths in Claire's Precious Little Life, outside of probably Claire's, are mostly just pointless. Like, Abby and Lana get killed in episode 1. And sure, Claire and Angle get a little skeptical about what happened to Abby and Lana, but a few minutes later, they never question it again. They just forget about what happened and just move on with their lives. Same thing with Riley's death. They just seem horrified for a bit, and then literally in the span of a few minutes, they move on and continue their lives as if nothing happened. And what disturbs me is that in episode 2, after Riley gets killed, like, she got killed in front of everyone. And this isn't like with Abby and Lana, where they got killed while no one was watching. She was killed in front of everyone. And what does everybody do? They don't call the police. They don't call, hey, our teacher is a bit crazy. Nope, they just continue their lives as if nothing happened. So in my opinion, Claire's Precious Little Life is a horrible adaptation that fucks up everything that was okay with the music video. If I were responsible in making the series, I would just cancel it. Like, I wouldn't make the first episode, I would just cancel it. Because I would realize that, hey, not everything needs an animated adaptation. Sometimes things are okay the way they are. FPE was just okay as a music video. Because it's just a song with some insane visuals, and that's it. There wasn't anything deep about it because it was just a music video. And that's basically everything I want to say about the animated adaptation of FPE. And that's my re-review. It was shorter than the previous one. And I made everything clear. So if I were to rank the series, I would give it probably a 1 or 2 out of 10. The only positives the animated adaptation has is its animation is decent enough, and it has some nice voice actors. Outside of that, everything else is just pure horrible. Circle, Thavel, and Bloomy barely had any character development and barely had any personalities, outside of just being assholes who like to kill people. A lot of other characters were just background characters who barely got to do anything, rather than just be a part of the background. And Riley just got killed because Toonsy thought that she was in that maybe killing her off in this series instead of exploring her a little bit more was a good option. And it was just horrible. It just feels like we're watching incidents. The music video, despite me not liking it, at least feels a little fun to watch. Like, it has some energy that fits the vibe of insanity. CPLL just feels like we're watching a bunch of tragedies and incidents. You're not gonna enjoy it, you're just gonna feel depressed and upset. And that's everything I have to say. If you were to ask me, would I recommend this series? Nope, don't watch it, watch something else. The series that just has incidents happening isn't worth your time, and you don't deserve some trauma of watching poor students die. And well, goodbye everyone.